Welcome back to the Wild Frequency. My name is Johnny Wild, and I'm broadcasting live on all known frequencies, all unknown frequencies, AM, FM, satellite, and all the other bollocks in between, including the ones you should be knowing about. Today's subject is Gunpowder Goes Boom, and we all know it absolutely loves to do that. But right now, let's have a music break. And with the sighting of our favourite black cat, we are back. Today's topic, Gunpowder Goes Boom. Gunpowder, the key ingredient in bullets, shells and fireworks. This is a century-old compound mixture discovered by the Chinese looking for the elixir of immortality. They realised it was explosive, and they created fireworks, and later the volatile mixture became used in warfare. Gunpowder has been confirmed to have been first discovered in China around the 9th century before Christ, possibly as a quest to discover the elixir of immortality. I know what you're sitting there thinking, and the answer is no. I will not tell you the ingredients for many reasons, but what I'll tell you is that everything involved and need to revise, at least for the black powder option. While it wasn't the elixir they wanted, they found many uses for it, including fireworks and what they would call fire lances, which used bamboo as barrels, creating a prototype short-range gun in the 10th century before Christ. It was the English that used the powder to make guns go boom.
He said it!
And fire a payload in various sizes of calibers, from black powder firearms, including flint rifles and pistols, to blunderbusses, matchlocks and wheel-lock guns. This is where the names of those firearms come from. Blunderbuss originates from the Dutch word donderbus, meaning thunder gun or thunderbox, reflecting the loud noise and explosive effects of the firearm. Gunpowder was a discovery humans would discover without one introducing it to the other, both using it in warfare. Humanity and gunpowder are closely linked. Humanity starts again without our knowledge. Gunpowder rediscovery would be a safe bet to make. During the 15th century, Germans would invent gunpowder. During the 12th and 13th century, the English would have discovered gunpowder. And in the 13th century, they were making it in bulk in the Tower of London. So you can see this is an easy bet to make. And we can't talk about gunpowder without talking about cannons. Cannons were not just the first artillery, but first firearms as well. I believe the first cannon was used in 1282 and was found in Mongol-held Manchuria. And after that, they would scale them down into handheld cannons. And by the 16th century, the English would have invented flintlock rifles. And from that point on, gunpowder would become the greatest tool of war, even surpassing the English longbowmen. It's clear that gunpowder changed warfare, and more destruction followed with every advancement of weapons that gunpowder empowered. Think about it. An arrow can kill, but at the same time, it doesn't do as much damage as a lead ball or minette, which can shatter bones. And that's one of the reasons why arrows became obsolete. More damage. And some of the best looking firearms were black powder, like the Lamat, for example. The Lamat is an interesting black powder pistol. It is a cap and ball, and its difference is it has two barrels. We're going to talk about the first one now. So the first one is a .42 ball or .36 ball caliber, and you get 9 shots. Apparently this thing was a pain in the backside to reload, but a very good revolver apparently. And then on the hammer there's a switch. You switch it and the pin will switch the shotgun round, which will activate the secondary barrel obviously, and this will either be in a 16 or a 20 gauge shot. With a muzzle velocity of around 120 beats per second or 190 meters a second, its effective range is about 40 yards or 37 meters. And if you're a good shooter, your maximum firing range can be 100 yards or 91 meters. The pistol, also known as the grape shot revolver, was developed in New Orleans in 1856 by Jean-Alexandre Lamat. During the American Civil War, the Confederates would use places like Liege, Belgium, and even Birmingham, England, to produce these pistols for the war. About 2,500 out of 5,000 would make it to the war. Confederate Major General J.E.B. Stuart was known to favour the automatic revolver. And on the Union side, they used something called the Burnside carbine, which was a reloadable brass cartridge that looked very similar to a modern shell but without the primer. Then during the 1861 and then on after, rifles like the Spencer rifle and the Henry rifle would employ cartridges like we have today. And there was an experimental Henry pistol called the Volcanic pistol, and that used self-contained metallic cartridges, but it never went into full-scale production. Then during 1944, the Germans introduced the STG-44, which was the first assault rifle and had selective fire capability and a compact design. Its intimidating cartridge gave the Allies something to fear. Gunpowder was also used to treat wounds as well, particularly the potassium nitrate had antiseptic properties according to medics at the time, but we know that's different. We can also use gunpowder to cauterize wounds if necessary. And we've seen that in films like Rambo, for example, where he pours it into his bullet wound or stab wound and he burns it, sealing it off by burning the tissue around it to stop the bleeding. There was a bit of gun history for the gun autists. Gunpowder is used in entertainment as well. Fireworks of all kinds use gunpowder to make the sky light up and take the shape of anything the maker desires. The volatile mixture works by combining an ignition source with the powder to create an expanding gas that propels a projectile from the chamber, or by expanding within a sealed chamber and exploding. Okay, we're going to take a quick music break because we've got some breaking news. Okay, so a AI seeker I had to call Dexter has detected something called the Secure, Contain and Protect Foundation, or the SCP Foundation. And it's managed to get into a G2 site, I believe is what it is, and get into files that are some type of level 4 classification. And this zombie plague could be SCP-008. Now, I don't know. I think this is just some type of false flag, because the SCP doesn't exist, as far as I know. But if you're an SCP Foundation operative, let me know. Let me know what's going on, because this thing's apparently called SCP-008, and it's apparently a biohazard. And it's apparently a Euclid objective class, whatever that means. Samples have been deemed Class V extreme biological hazards. SCP-008 is a complex prion, sample of which is stored each of the known G2 sites. Research into SCP-008 is highly classified and primarily aimed at preventing research which may lead to synthesis of SCP-008 in the distant future. Traits include 100% infectiousness, 100% lethality, transmission through exposed mucous membrane and all bodily fluids, but it's not airborne or waterborne. Any symptoms include flu-like symptoms, high fever, severe dementia in late stages, onset coma 24 hours after first infection, and 12 hours after notable dementia. Coma onset will be considered onset of death. So once that happens, you must defeat the person. And there's a whole list of things. If you want me to go through it, I'll go through it. And now let's finish this podcast. Okay, so thank you for being here with me. I know your time is precious. I think we learned something today. I think we've had fun. If you haven't, please let me know, because I'll have to change that. But remember to get the headshots. Remember to burn those bodies. And remember, you're not alone. So make contact with me. We can make this channel really good. So remember to check out my previous podcasts and my newer content, which is the analysis and debunking of paranormal content, with this one being The Exorcist House. You can find that full video and the shorts as dedicated previews under the file designation name Clips from the Crypt.
it!